is tonight going to be all about COVID? No. I don't know about you, but I have had it with COVID conversations 24 hours a day. And actually, I don't even have any good COVID stories. My life is completely unchanged. I didn't get sick. I kept my job. And my wife's been social distancing with me since our honeymoon. We've been practicing social distancing since it was called Get Off Me. The only way I could catch COVID from my wife is on my birthday. I was begging for sex the other night, and I finally wore her down. And she said, all right, you can do whatever you want to me. From 6 feet away. 6 feet. I am old and white. I couldn't do anything to you from 6 inches away. All right, so who's from out of town? What do we got? Who's visiting? By applause, who's visiting? I'm sorry, there's no audience here, so you can't really see. I can't see any of you, so there's not even shadows. Now I know what it's like to be on stage with Stevie Wonder. Holy cow! What? Too soon? So you're out of town. Does that mean that you're here celebrating stuff? Who's celebrating? What do we got? Birthdays, anniversaries. An anniversary. What number?
A birthday.
What is it?
28.
28. All right. So, sir, you answered 28. Ma'am, what's your answer?
28.
Okay. Sometimes you get like 28 and 31, and it's like, ooh, somebody hasn't been. Well, anyway. Wow. What's the secret? Never responding. Well, that's cool. That's awesome. 28 years. You should be on the Mount Rushmore of marriage. That's congratulations. Anybody else? What do we got? Nothing. We're not watching Golden Girls. Fuck you.
Birthday.
Birthday.
Another birthday.
Uh-oh. I can't see. Man or woman?
Man.
Oh, how old?
30.
30. Every item of clothing that I'm wearing is older than 30. Well, that's cool. You couldn't find anything else that 30-year-olds do tonight? This is it. This is your birthday. Is today your birthday?
No, it was Thursday.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, man. Congratulations. A new decade, new starts, new beginning. Good for you. Thanks for sharing part of it with us. You know, I just had a birthday. Yeah, 64. Yeah, this year the candles cost more than the cake. At my age, friends with benefits is someone who can drive at night. I am so old that I was around for COVID-1. But it's all good. Not everybody can go to a Rolling Stones concert and say, I saw you in 76, and I saw you at 76. Yeah. Hey, 30-year-old, here's something you gotta watch out for. Down the road, lots more time in the doctors. I just had a colonoscopy. Oh, God. Yeah, something must have gone wrong, because for about the next week, I was doing the drug mule shuffle. You know, where you're walking like you just swallowed 30 bags of cocaine, and if even one pops, you die. Had my procedure done at a local Las Vegas hospital. Hey, here's a tip. Never get a procedure done at a local Las Vegas hospital. I got roofied. I'm in the operating room chatting with my doctor. Suddenly I get really sleepy. 2 hours later, I wake up in a strange bed and my ass hurts. Went in for the pre-op exam the week before. Doctor's getting ready to give me the finger test. This is the one time you don't want to piss him off, and I blew it. I said, you know, if we both got tested, you wouldn't need that glove. Just a little more romantic, you wouldn't even need the lube. He just smiled and put his fingers where the sun don't shine. But then he left them there. I'm like, hey, What is this, a union shop and you're on a break? What are you doing with the other hand, eating a sandwich? Sending a text? Let's focus here. He sent me home with a prep kit. You know, that stuff that you take the night before to empty out. Half hour after I took it, I left a note for my family. I love you and I'll miss you. 8 pounds later, I'm seeing gum that I swallowed in the 3rd grade. I clogged my neighbor's plumbing. But that's what's coming, 30-year-old. And in the meantime, you got to try and stay active. That's what I'm doing, trying to stay active. I go to the gym a lot, but then they closed in March. So I had to find a new way to try and get some exercise. There's nothing. I tried to play golf. Stupid. That's fetch without a dog. Thought about playing hockey, because this is a big hockey town now. Go Knights. But I couldn't get past trying to figure out how they created the sport. You know, like the first meeting? All right, so we're in agreement. We've got 2 teams wearing pads and helmets, banging into each other, one team trying to get past the other to score a goal. Sound good? Isn't that football? Oh, shit, you're right. All right, let's put them on ice skates. So I went to my old standby, running. It's what I've done forever. Running's the worst. I mean, running is every other sport's punishment. Right? You screw up, take a lap. But it turns out I'm pretty good at it. Actually, a few years ago, I ran across the United States. It's a real thing. It's called The Father's Journey. I did it for my daughter, Suzanne, who suffers from a variety of mental health challenges. And I took off from Los Angeles, and I'm running like Tom Hanks in Forrest Gump. I finished up 20 weeks later in Washington, D.C., and I'm running like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Just a goofy old guy talking to his volleyball Wilson. At the time that I was doing my thing, Hillary Clinton was running for president. So I guess you could say we were both running at the same time. Of course, the difference is, I didn't change direction every day, so I actually made it to the White House. At 64, I'm getting closer to that Social Security check. Oh, I'm sorry, that was rude of me. If you're under 25, a check is a negotiable instrument that's drawn on a bank. Oh, and a bank is a place where you deposit the money from your job. Oh, and a job is something that you get so that you can pay rent, which happens when you get your own place and move out of my house. I'm the father of 3 adult children, and they're all in their 30s. It's not like they need a father anymore, but I've become their boomerang dad. I throw them out, they come right back. But not my middle kid, not Kristen. No, she's happily married, trying to have a baby unsuccessfully. She called me up a couple of weeks ago, said, we're gonna go with artificial insemination. So this year, for my birthday, would you pay for our first treatment? I said, absolutely not. There's no way I'm going into work right after your birthday. Somebody says, so, what'd you get Kristen? Well, this year I tried to get her pregnant. We'll find out in a few weeks, fingers crossed. And this stuff's expensive. It's $400 a vial, and most of that goes to the donor. Fellas, do you realize how much money we've let slip through our fingers? I got a $5,000 sock at home. If I'd known about this 40 years ago, I could have paid off my house in a week. Try it now, I'd be in foreclosure. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, but one thing that I really admire about my kids and the whole millennial generation is just how health conscious they are. God, it's so different from when I was a kid. When I was growing up, the only beverages that we drank were ones that you couldn't see through. Coke, coffee, and tap water. You know. And everything that we ate was fried. If I got a headache, Mom whipped out the Crisco and fried up some aspirin. And because everything that we ate and drank was so bad for us, our digestion was horrible. When I got gas, there wasn't just a noise that came out of my ass. There was a glowing mushroom fire. My parents nicknamed me Hiroshima. My sister was Nagasaki. Little baby brother, Chernobyl. Which is ironic because Nagasaki and Hiroshima were planned. Chernobyl was just an accident. And we got into fights every day at school. But then I'd come home and my parents would hit me for being in fights, as did my teachers and principals. The only authority figure that didn't slap me in the face was my priest. Well, with his hands. So before I bring up our next comic, I wanted to share with you an epiphany that I had recently. Not the stripper from Sapphires, but another epiphany. If you think old, you'll be old. Think young, you'll stay young. I told that to my wife, she said, "You're right. We need to think more like millennials." So next month, we're moving in with her parents. The only appointment we're ever on time for is our daily vape at 4:20. And she always gives me a participation ribbon for trying really hard during sex. I told her I didn't think that was fair. I deserve a trophy because I always finish first. I'm Guy Fessenden, and that's my time with you. Thank you very much.